This is a short tutorial on the regular verbs chart. The chart many students have found very helpful as far as visually looking at the verbs and seeing the differences. Regular verbs, as I had said before in an earlier tutorial, regular verbs, they can be pretty predictable. So we're going to go over these real quick. The chart that you should have, if you see a list of verbs down the side, most of them should be included on the verb list. If not, that shouldn't matter, because if you know the basic changes, you should be able to change that one too. If you look at it first, the first couple of verbs are AR verbs. From tomorrow all the way up, those are AR. So if it helps for you to kind of highlight this line to separate them, that's fine. The next few are ER verbs. And the last few are IR verbs. And sometimes it helps to see all of them and how they change in one chart. First column is for the definition. So verbs in their infinitive form, it's always going to be to something, like llevar, to wear or to take, to buy, blah blah blah. I'll go over all those. Then we have the different verb forms. There are 5. So the yo form, the main ending is what? The main ending is an O. And for el, ella, and usted, the main ending is either an E or an A. For ellos, ellas, ustedes, the main ending is either EN or AN. Then the to form will either be ES or AS. And finally nosotros, basically going to be mos. So I'm going to kind of run through this really quick so you can see it. So there's an O ending, drop the AR, add the O, llevo. Next one, comprar, turns into compro. Necesito, celebro, hablo, etc. Now let's look at a couple of ER verbs. Okay, correr, it's an ER verb. So you drop the ER, just like you drop the AR back here. Corro. Bebo. Como. Now some people get a little confused with the 2 E's. You're like, well, what do I do? It's another vowel. Don't worry about it. Just follow the same rule. Your ER, drop the ER. Leo. And speaking of vowels, let me jump back up here. Estudiar. There's an I and an A. Some people that throws them off. Same thing there. Drop off the AR. Estudio. So I'll go ahead and fill this in. It might be bothering some people like myself. Navego, nadar, drop off the AR. O. Bailar, drop off the AR. Bailo. So there, we've done pretty much all the verbs so far. Now let's finish off and do the IR verbs. The same thing here. Drop off the IR ending and add an O. So what will this verb look like? Escribo. Okay. Vivo. Comparto. I don't think compartir is one of your verbs, but it's still good to see. And recibo. Okay, él, ella, usted. So what I'll do with the rest of these is I'll do 3 verbs. I'll do 4. I'll do 4 of each. So that'll be all of the ER, IRs, and 4 of the ARs. Okay, so llevar is an AR verb. Drop the AR. Or for some people, really, you could just drop off the R. Officially, that's how you do it, how I said it, but visually students are like, well, you just drop off the R. With AR verbs, that's okay. Just drop off the R and there you go. Lleva, compra, necesita, dropped off the R, celebra. He celebrates, he needs, he buys, so that's how you do that there. And what makes changing verbs a lot easier is if you already know what the subject pronouns mean. Some of you guys may still be trying to sort those out. If you know those by heart, then that makes the process a lot easier. So you can use flashcards, or flashcards really are the best method to kind of sort those out, or going back through the practice exercises. Okay, ER verbs. So if the ending is supposed to be an E or an A or an E, then technically, sure, you can just drop off the R. So let's do that. Corre, bebe, come, lee. Okay, now IR verbs. Now, some students, they get into a trend going all the way down, and then they try to do the same with IR verbs. They try to just drop the R, but that's not what the ending is. The ending is an E, just like with ER verbs. So, for IR verbs, you do have to completely take off the IR and have an E. So, escribir turns into escribe. Comparte. Oops. That was supposed to be vive. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, compartir. Drop the IR. Comparte. Recibe. Okay, the they form, or you all form. There needs to be an N at the end. So technically, you can follow the same and just drop off the R, add an N. Same thing with ER verbs. Drop off the R, add an N. And then with IR verbs, drop off the IR and add an EN. So for these, I'm just going to do one verb each. Alright, so llevar. We want to say they wear, drop off the R, make sure there's an N there. Okay, so that's AR verbs. Correr. Want to say they run, or you all run, drop off the R, and add an N. Then if we want to say they write, or you all write, it's an IR verb, so drop off the IR. We need an EN. Okay. The to form. The main letter here is an S. You could continue the trend and drop off the R and add an S. So, llevas. The ER verbs, correr, turn that to, drop off that R, have an S, corres. Then with IR verbs, drop off the I and the R, and have an ES. Escribes. Okay, last one, the sutras form, or the we form. So there's a most that needs to be at the end. So this one's pretty easy. You just drop off the R and add most to everything. Lleva, drop off that R, most. Correr, drop off the R, corremos. Escribir, drop off the R, escribimos. And that's basically the trend that you do for the whole chart. So if you want to fill out your own chart, I don't want to really do it all for you. That won't be helpful. The best way you can get practice out of this and really master the verbs is to try to fill this out yourself. If you want me to check it and say, hey, is this right? I will totally check your chart. That may be useful because most of the time some people make a few mistakes. And really after that, after you filled it out, you can just refer to it if you want to. If you don't remember how to change a verb, just go and refer to your chart. Okay, I want to say I surf the internet. Let me double check how to do that. Oh, there we go. Navego. So that's a good use for this to keep in your binder if you're keeping a binder for the course. And that's it.